Disclaimer: the content in this video is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. Our goal is to report on public conversations, provide context, and, where applicable, clarify misinformation and debunk false claims. We strive for ethical and responsible reporting by presenting a balanced perspective, verifying information wherever possible, and citing all relevant sources, including articles, tweets, TikToks, and other online media. Unless otherwise stated, all discussions in this video should be considered allegations and not established facts. We encourage viewers to do their own research, verify information independently, and form their own conclusions.
American R&B singer Chris Brown has been remanded in custody after appearing in court in Manchester earlier on. He was arrested in Manchester, but by Metropolitan Police officers in connection to an unprovoked attack at a London nightclub in 2023. It happened in February that year, and Chris Brown has been charged with inflicting grievous bodily harm. Having appeared in court in Manchester this morning, he has been remanded in custody today.
Chris Brown just got arrested again, but this time it wasn't in LA or New York. It happened across the ocean in the UK. And what makes this...
Yo, what up, Team Breezy? Your boy Chris Brown right here. Just want to tell y'all, thank y'all for all the love, man. We got the Breezy Bowl coming up. All the dates is selling out, so we added some more dates. Tuesday, the new dates go on sale. Y'all come out.
Even crazier, it all traces back to a nightclub incident from over 2 years ago. Now he's behind bars, a $16 million lawsuit is on the table, and even his sold-out European tour might collapse. This is not just another celebrity drama. This could change everything for Breezy. It was just supposed to be another stop on his European tour. Private jet, luxury hotel, the usual.
I don't think anyone was expecting Chris Brown in a prison van on his way to a UK jail this summer.
But Chris Brown didn't make it to the stage. Instead, he was met with handcuffs. At around 2 a.m., inside a hotel in Manchester, UK, Chris Brown was arrested, not for something new, but for a case that's been quietly haunting him since February 2023, an alleged assault, a music producer, a London nightclub, and now, serious consequences. Let's rewind. Back in 2023, Chris was at Tate Mayfair, an upscale London nightclub.
Bow Wow's a good friend of Chris Brown as well, and he spoke about it on TikTok, and he believes that Chris Brown will be home real soon, but we're going to get into why that may not be the case.
Yo, they got way too crazy. My anxiety started kicking in, I had to take a break. I'm going to the movies with my auntie. That's how I really got it. I ain't been to the movies in so long, so I'm really, really excited about this. On another note, free Breezy, free Breezy, free Breezy. I know we're going to yell it until that actually happens. It's an unfortunate situation. You know, my man went over to Manchester to start rehearsal for the tour for the Breezy Bowl, and, you know, I won't let my dog be great, but one thing I do know, he'll be out in no time. He'll be back doing what he do best. And like I said, man, my dog ain't bothered nobody, man. That man been out the media, out the press for a minute. You know what I mean? He just want to tour, please his fans, and take care of his kids. You know what I mean? Life is so simple, it really is. So shout out to my boy Brown. Hold your head. And we got you.
The vibe was typical. Celebrities, expensive drinks, flashing lights. But something went down that night that would come back to haunt him. A man, later confirmed to be a music producer, accused Chris of launching a brutal and unprovoked attack. He says Chris smashed a bottle over his head, not once, but 2 or 3 times. He fell to the ground stunned and claims he was then punched and kicked while lying helpless. His knee buckled. He had to be hospitalized, discharged on crutches. Chris's team denied it, said it was someone in his entourage, but the victim swore it was him. The music producer didn't just go quiet. He's been fighting ever since launching a...
For questioning, the Met Police released this. A 36-year-old man was arrested at a hotel in Manchester shortly after 200 hours on Thursday. the 15th of May on suspicion of grievous bodily harm. He has been taken into custody where he remains. The arrest relates to an incident at a venue in Hanover Square on the 19th of February 2023. And again, that incident that they're talking about is when the music producer said that it was an unprovoked attack that happened on him allegedly.
$16 million lawsuit for damages, saying he's lost work, income, and health because of what happened. And here's the twist. He filed that lawsuit not in the UK, but in the United States. Fast forward to May 2025. Chris Brown's back in the UK for a massive 10-date tour. He's already sold over 400,000 tickets, worth more than $60 million. The buzz is huge. But someone else is also watching, The Sun newspaper. According to reports, The Sun actually tipped off the Metropolitan Police the moment they found out Chris had landed in the UK. They allegedly contacted law enforcement, asking, should he be arrested? Next thing you know, boom, he's arrested in the middle of the night. The charge? Grievous bodily harm tied directly to the 2023 nightclub incident. The police released a statement saying a 36-year-old man, Chris Brown, was taken into custody after 2 a.m.
It's because he's in a big mess. Here's what you need to know. He's been charged with Section 18 GBH, which is grievous bodily harm. His case has been sent to the Crown Court on the 13th of June. He's been remanded into custody, which is he's in prison now until that date. What does that mean for you? If he doesn't get bail, he will have to stay in prison until his trial date. Now, trial dates can be anything as long as into next year because of the court delays. Can he make a bail application? Yes. He has one chance to make a bail application at the Crown Court, which he can do at any point. He doesn't have to wait until the 13th. Will he get bail? There will be a strong fear that he will fail to surrender because he travels from country to country and he's from America. So there'll be concerns about that. So that will have to be addressed in any bail application, which may restrict what he's able to do for a tour. If he gets convicted of this, you can face up to life imprisonment, but realistically, in these circumstances, he's looking at anything between 3 and 9 years. What does that mean for you? If I were you, I would err caution and probably try to get a refund on the tickets because it doesn't really look good. Or you can wait and see what happens at his next bail application. If I was his team, I would have checked with the UK authorities before he arrived here about the circumstances, because this happens in 2023, so potentially this could have been avoided.
In Manchester. He's now being held while the investigation continues. What makes this more intense is that Chris was apparently supposed to voluntarily meet with police last year, but never showed up. He just flew back to the US and didn't follow through. That absence might now be used against him. Legal experts say this might hurt his chances of getting bail. Why? Because he's considered a flight risk. He's already left once without cooperating, and now that he's back, the UK authorities aren't playing around. And here's where things get even messier. Back in 2009, Chris Brown was convicted in the US for assaulting Rihanna. That charge led to a travel ban. He was banned from entering the UK for more than a decade. That ban was only lifted in 2020 by then Home Secretary Priti Patel. So why would the UK let him back in just to arrest him? Some insiders say there was speculation his team believed the UK wouldn't act out of embarrassment for lifting the ban in the first place. But the Met Police clearly had other plans. The victim in this case is not backing down. He says this attack has destroyed his ability to work. He's demanding £12 million, roughly $16 million US, for damages. That includes physical injury, missed earnings, and mental suffering. Now let's talk impact. Chris Brown's tour may be in serious jeopardy. If he remains in custody, there's no way he can perform. Venues, promoters, and fans will all feel the fallout. Millions of dollars are on the line, not to mention his reputation. Some fans are saying this is just another attempt to bring Chris down. Others argue, if the allegations are true, he still hasn't learned from his past. The fact that this isn't the first time Chris Brown has been connected to violence only fuels the controversy. And the online world? Exploding. Some are mocking him, saying this is karma for defending Tory Lanez, who's now also behind bars after being stabbed in prison. One user even tweeted, "Chris said free Tory." Now Tory's in a cell and so is he.
Americans are actually happy about this, saying for one, Chris Brown is not untouchable. You can't just pay a bond like in America and get out. He's being held accountable. Listen to this TikToker from America.
Now, what's crazy is that the UK justice system is doing what the American justice system could never do: hold Chris Brown accountable without bail. Now, shout out to Say Cheese GGTL for the mugshot, because y'all really came through clutch. Now, they stated that Chris Brown had been arrested for smashing a tequila bottle over the head of a music producer in the UK in 2023. And they have this on CCTV. Now, Chris Brown was he still is in Manchester, because he begins his UK tour dates beginning in the Netherlands. But that's not going to happen. And if you bought tickets to see him in the UK, that's not happening either. And for the pick-me's in the comments, this is Chris Brown's own doing. Because how you got all this money and all of this big, large team, and you don't got nobody checking to see if you got warrants out for your arrest in other countries? Because it happened in 2023, I'm just going to assume that Chris Brown thought, I'm untouchable. But federal prosecutors in Manchester had another thing coming. Now, if you do have tickets to go see Chris Brown in the UK, you're going to have to contact Ticketmaster to see if you can get your tickets back or see if they're going to get pushed to a later date. But according to Manchester prosecutors, he's not getting out of jail anytime soon. So if you do have tickets to go see him, good luck. And if you already saw him, well, that's great. And before you get on the internet attempting to defend this man, Chris Brown did this to himself. He also did it on CCTV, so there's no denying his level.
It's wild to think this all started with one night, one alleged attack in a dark London club, but that's the thing about fame. It doesn't erase consequences. If anything, it magnifies them. And then there's the media circus. The Sun, notorious for pushing headlines, essentially became part of the story, allegedly tipping off police, triggering the arrest, and rolling out multiple front-page articles. Some are calling it journalism, others are calling it a trap. But no matter how you slice it, Chris Brown is back in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. The victim, meanwhile, isn't just fighting for money, he's fighting for recognition. He's claiming that Brown didn't just hurt him physically, he destroyed his future. He says he's lost over $500,000 a month in potential deals since the attack. That's over $12 million in less than 2 years. But let's be real, can that really be proven? Even fans who support the victim are skeptical about those numbers. As one tweet said, "You didn't get hit with a Grammy, bro. You got hit with a bottle." And while that may sound harsh, it highlights the tension. How much is too much? What's justice? And what's exaggeration? Still, the victim insists the damage is real. He claims he was rising in the music industry with collaborations and deals lined up. And now, gone. Just like that. Chris, for his part, hasn't made a public statement. No apology. No denial. No tweet. Total silence. And maybe that's smart. Anything he says could be used in court. But it also leaves fans and critics filling in the blanks. Is he guilty? Innocent? Hiding something? The internet doesn't wait for answers. It creates its own. Memes have flooded Twitter. Chris Brown booked a tour in a cell. One user joked. Another posted a fake concert flyer. Lev from Cell Block D, the Chris Brown experience. But beneath the jokes is a real conversation. Can celebrities get away with things normal people can't? Should Chris Brown even be allowed back in the UK after his history? And how much of this is accountability? Versus media destruction. Let's not forget, he was banned for over a decade after the Rihanna incident, and now, just 5 years after re-entering the country, he's under arrest again. It paints a bleak picture. A talented artist with a long shadow behind him. A man constantly outrunning his past, only for it to catch up in the most public way possible. And if you're wondering where this is all heading, here's the latest. Chris Brown is still in custody. The police are likely to ask for more time to investigate. The civil case in the U.S. is moving forward. And unless a miracle happens, the UK tour may be cancelled or rescheduled, costing tens of millions. Worst case? Criminal charges, a court trial, jail time, tour cancelled, sponsors dropped, and an already scarred legacy permanently stained. Best case? He gets released under investigation, blames the entourage, settles quietly, and finishes the tour with a few headlines in the rear view. But even that outcome leaves a question. How many more times can Chris Brown escape the past before it becomes his future?